But you out of breath.
Yes. Hey guys,
There you go.
welcome to my channel for the watch. I'm your girl, Miss K. And if this is your first time coming across this channel, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe if you like the vibe. Hit that notification bell so you know when I go live and things like that. Tonight we are doing our first reaction recap after the show live of House of the Dragon, season 2, episode number 5. And I'm here with my girl Moochie with Moochilla's review. And we're going to talk about the events in this episode as best we can because on the first watch, some things can be missed, but that's okay. I do have a few notes. All right, Moochie.
Hey.
So tell me just a little bit about how you felt about the episode overall before we get into all of this other stuff.
What I you had to pay attention to this episode because the dialogue was very important.
Yes.
Um, I I enjoyed the episode because we did. I think we're seeing how everything is transpiring and how Allison is. She can't control anything anymore. Everything's been out of her control, and
Mm-hmm.
now she's just basically along for the ride, and she can't stop it.
Mm-mm.
Overall, I get the episode like a 7.5.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we see that the episode starts off with Lord Corliss, and obviously he's gotten the news. I think he was at Driftmark. But I'm not sure because when later on, when we'll talk about that later, when Baylor went to go look for him, they said he was somewhere else. But maybe he left. I think he was at Driftmark first, and then he left somewhere because he was like, "Oh, my home is a tomb now," or whatever. But the point is that we see that he's been crying. So he obviously heard the news of his wife's death, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then we get, a cutscene to Rhaenyra, she's looking sad. And then we see them parading. We get to King's Landing now, right? And we see them parading Maylee's body through the head. Was it just her head or like
Mm.
child,
Just the head of the
that's a
dragon.
big old freaking dragon, okay? So they got her head and they're parading it through the streets. And somebody was like, "Mark my words, this is a black omen."
Yeah,
And
the
so
whisper. The I forgot her name, but
no, no,
she.
no, no. Somebody. We didn't
Oh,
see
in the
who it was.
crowd when they was
Yeah.
walking by.
Yeah. There was a lot of people saying certain things and everything. And
Mm-hmm.
then somebody was like, "Mark my words, this is a black omen." And I was like, wow. And my thing was, how do you call a dragon a traitor? Well, we'll talk about that. And then they were also giving Aegon the credit, okay? And we see that the people, they just don't seem pleased about this victory. And what's the name was saying that same thing? Like they don't seem to understand what's his name? Krispy Kreme. He doesn't see. He's looking and you see your guy. Was it Gwaine? You see, he's still alive,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So he's saying to Gwen, like, they don't seem to, I don't think they understand that this is a victory. But the point is that they're not looking at it like a victory because they looking at this is like bad luck. And then on top of that, Moochie, did you see they still got the rat catchers up?
Yup. They still had the rat catches up. Did you peep how the food is going bad?
I didn't peep that, no.
Mm-hmm.
But they are, I think they were complaining about stuff like that, right?
Yeah, because remember he controls all of that
Mm-hmm.
to make sure they get their food and stuff like that. You done
Mm-mm-mm.
took my wife out. Yeah, I'd make you starve. Okay. You done
Oh,
took out the
yeah.
love of my life. Y'all gonna starve. Y'all gonna
Yeah.
starve. Y'all gonna be fighting over food, and you gonna have restless town people.
Yeah.
Once you get the town people against you, it's not gonna work well. So if somebody in that crowd said that's an omen, be sure that it's coming.
Oh yeah. And then you got him, this guy up here, aiming, and his mother just watching, and you wanted to know who was in that box, and you got to see
Mm-hmm.
old burnt up aiming. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So obviously it's confirmed that his grace remains with us for the moment. That's what Maester Orwell says. But the wounds Them wounds were disgusting. They were slimy. They were nasty. I think they looked like somebody looked like they was making a face like they were stinking. And they
Well,
were
no, she
snapped.
was making a face when she walked through the town. Because
No, no,
remember,
no,
you
not
got
that.
all of
I'm
the
talking.
bodies. Oh,
Yeah, not that
okay.
yet. I'm talking about only what's his name? Aemon.
The uh-huh.
Remember when the Maesters were like pulling off his armor and stuff? You saw the blood and it was sticky and it, like one of them went like this and stuff.
It
Like I
probably
think
was
they,
pushed just like her husband's back used to be.
yeah,
With
and
all of
then
that nonsense. She got to deal with all of that again. That's good for her.
well, shit, not for us.
Started this whole nonsense, and now you're gonna have to deal with that funky pus smell. She gonna be cleaning it off too.
What's up, Torian? Let me hear what he's saying real quick. He said Allison gave Eamon that same look Rhaenyra gave Daemon when she knew he had something to do with the child being unalive. Wow,
Mm-hmm.
that's good. Yes, she knew. Um, so of course, the first thing he's saying is, oh, but I was saying that the face burns, because I know in the books I already knew he was going to have face burns. They didn't look as bad. They do look bad, but they didn't look as bad as I thought they were going to look. And I thought he was going to be really, really disfigured, but okay, we'll see.
Gonna have a big
His
scab on it.
Yeah, his body looks bad. I feel like his
Mm-hmm.
body looks worse than like his face. Oh my gosh. And you saw how
Them
they
peeling
snapped.
that armor off of him. Oh, that had
Ugh.
to be painful.
Yeah. And the snapping of the leg. But he was totally out. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's totally out. So Aemon says someone will have to rule in his stead. So you already know what that means. That's his whole plan. And then, like Torian said, Alicent suspects that Aemon played a part in the accident because she trying to ask her Kristen Cole, like, what happened? You know what I mean? Tell me everything. How did you feel about how he was acting? It was like, bro, like you trying to just basically avoid this whole conversation. She's supposed to have some type of privileges after she been giving you the cookie and whatnot.
She don't got nothing now. He's like, he's supposed to be in charge.
Yeah,
He's
nothing
the
at
next in
all.
line.
Yeah, so let me see. I'm trying to
He was just trying to take as much attention off of him as possible in that.
Yeah,
Because
because
everybody
he
want to be
don't.
like, where was you when he came
Yeah,
out there?
because he doesn't want to accept accountability for anything ever. Ever. And I feel like, for me, I feel like the only reason why he feels bad is because this happened on his watch. It's because he, like you said, he don't want nobody to be like, oh, that was on, that's on me, that's on him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like he really feels bad.
But everything happens on his watch.
Right.
It was your watch when you was
Yeah.
supposed to be watching the main quarters,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how they got in there. That's how what's it, cheese and cake or whatever they names
Blood.
was, blood and cheese. That's why them two got in there.
Yeah.
It was your watch then.
It was your watch, but you was on a ride instead of a watch. You feel me?
It was your watch to keep after the king. But no, you want to go be on the front line and wear your suit of armor.
Right. So,
He's busy
um,
knocking boots with the last one. Now this time this. Come on. He's been rewarded enough though, I think.
yeah, it's totally annoying. So I'm gonna bring up Sir Alfred right now because he is just, of course, like, excuse me, he's at it again, right? But I ain't gonna lie, this episode I'm gonna give him a pass a little bit because he finally kept it real, because she was just like basically, in so many words, like, what are you here for? You know what I'm saying? Because you seem like you want to defy me at every freaking turn. He keeps on bringing up Daemon, this and that, but he did make it seem like he was upset with Daemon for kind of like abandoning them. That's what it sounds like to me. And he was like, when she tried to, like, press him about the matter or confront him, he was like, that I know that you're capable, and you have a quick mind and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, you're a woman. He didn't say that, but he was like, the gentler sex, you're the gentler sex, and you don't have experience in war and strategy, right? And so, that's that. But like I said, I kind of feel like in this episode, I felt where he was coming from rather than any other episode because he was more honest about it. That's how I feel about that.
I
Um,
agree with you because before it was just like he was just trying to insert himself in everything.
yeah.
And this time he tried to be as tactful as possible with it. But
Hmm.
she gonna move him. She done moved him to another castle. She sent him on a mission.
Right.
Look,
So
just get out of my sight.
Rhaenyra was like, you can't tell me nothing because you seen no more battles than I did because pretty much it's been peaceful these past few years.
And she's
You know what
right.
I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like none of us can really speak at this point. But in this council, they are more concerned with because she wants to be like, okay, we need this over here, secure the spot, blah blah blah. But they're more concerned with getting their get back on Rook's Rest. Like somebody got to answer for that. You know what I'm saying? Of course, everybody wants her to send the dragon, send the dragon. But for her, she's like, it's only me. Like if y'all want a dragon to be sent, we just lost our largest dragon. And if y'all want a dragon to be sent, then it's gonna have to be me. And they're like, Rhaenyra, you are the crown. You cannot go. They are right about that. And here's my thing: if they really weren't there for her and they wanted her to be going, they'd have sent her on that daggone mission with the hopes that she was killed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. I'm starting to, be a. I'm trying to, raise up off them a little bit.
Do you think she made a mistake by sending him away?
I I think she's. I don't think she made a mistake, but I think that she meant well. I don't think she's doing something like I don't think she's being grimy or sneaky with it. But we're gonna. I have everything noted in order, so we're gonna we'll get there.
Okay, my bad.
So, no, it's okay. So we have Jace who's getting antsy, and I'm just gonna choose a picture that I have of him. But it was a scene with him talking to Bayla, and he's getting antsy, and because he wants to be a part of the action. He wants to be a part of it. He wants to take action, but his mom doesn't want him to do anything. She's trying to protect him, and Bayla says it too, right? And then when he tells Bayla that he will treat with the phrase to secure the crossing at the twins, girl, I got PTSD. Okay, like I went straight back to Game of Thrones where Rob had to secure the crossing with the phrase and how they got into that whole mess in the first place at the Red Wedding. So I was like, oh my gosh, we bringing the phrase into it.
Yeah, you know how they act all messed up.
But
So
I'm
is
glad.
this the beginning of people always taking advantage of them and then reneging on their deals?
Oh
Because that's what they
gosh.
said. And look,
Oh
I hate to bring
boy.
it up, but that's what was always said
About
in
them.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
That was the reason why they feel like they were a house that was always overlooked.
Yeah, but I think it was because of Walder Frey though. I'm not like I don't know the like all the history of the phrase per se because I didn't
Hmm.
get that far. But I'm thinking it was Walder Frey's reputation that was really bad. The late Walder Frey. So, but you might be right, Moochie. And to be honest with you, like I said, once their name got brought up in that whole securing the crossing, that made me feel really weird. But the worst part of it is that, to me, this is the worst part of it. He was making deals and moves in Rhaenyra's name, and also
Hmm.
see now he could do it for his mom because his mom will probably back him up, right? But he threw Damon in there. Like, oh,
Hmm.
I'm gonna give you the protection of, I'm gonna give you the protection of me and my uncle. Now I'm kind of going far, but we're gonna. My main thing was him making the moves without his,
He
his
was like,
mother.
but technically he will if she enforces it. That's the
Yeah.
only way it's going down.
Yeah. So now we have Damon who threatens. Wait a minute. Let me ask you about how you feel about Helena with this this scene right here. She just you remember when they were bringing Aemon's body in
Hmm.
and she was just looking. She has one of those faces where I just wish that I could read her. but she doesn't look happy. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, she's an innocent in this whole thing, and I think that's kind of what they keep pointing to. So even though she doesn't even have that many words to say, it's like you can clearly see it. Like she's just watching all of this crap happen in front of her face,
Yeah.
which is
I
so
mean, she didn't
sad.
say a lot in this episode here.
Yeah, she
Well,
did.
that scene with Damon.
Yeah.
Mm,
With Eamon, you mean?
yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we gonna get.
Mm,
So I just feel bad for her. Like in a way, I'm wondering like, does she feel bad or hurt that Eamon is practically dying? You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to know her thoughts.
I
Poor
don't think
baby.
she had that much chemistry with him. Like he
No, she.
always, it seems like he always overlooked her,
Yeah.
and 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 it seemed like the other one was like, if I had to take your hand in marriage. Remember they had that little conversation before.
Mhm.
So
I mean, I know, but it's like it's still her brother and the father
look,
of
it
her
don't
kids,
look. We done seen.
and I just feel like it's not something that she's happy with. I don't know.
No, she's
Yeah.
not happy with it, but it's like she knows it's more to come from it. She knows that it's more to come from it. She knows
Yeah.
that it's only gonna get worse before it gets better.
Mm. Whoo, baby. Okay. So where am I at? All right. So the part where Damon and I thought I had a picture. No, I do have a picture of it. Because I was trying my best to get me some stuff, girl. Did we get him? Yes, we did. Okay. So Damon, he threatens to cook the Brackens if they don't bend the knee to him. And them ninjas said, we choose fire. They was on some
Yes,
Cersei Lannister, like, I choose violence.
they was ready to go. He turned his back on him like, go ahead if you
Word.
gonna burn me.
Exactly. Like, I don't even want to see it coming, but
Yeah, all
whatever.
right. Look, we not coming. And they
They,
they they disrespected Rhaenyra anyway.
yeah,
They was mad disrespectful.
they hate the Blackwoods that much that they was just like, I'd rather freaking burn. That's like one of the worst ways to go out.
Hmm.
Like, it's like, nope, I'd rather burn, child. But I think a dragon's death, like being burnt by a dragon, is probably a lot better than and faster than being burnt by like regular fire.
I don't know,
It's al-
Damon.
it's almost like instant. It seems like you don't even hear them. Well, I was gonna say you don't hear them scream, but that's not true. But the thing is, because I think if the fire touches them and they don't get torched completely, obviously they're gonna be screaming. But like we've seen,
we seen people getting those wounds nursed from a dragons when they had that first war in House of Dragons.
yeah,
Some people did survive it.
no, yeah, I know. Some people
They was
survive.
talking about it in the brothels. Remember the women were talking
Yeah.
about how the men were coming back from war.
But my point is that the fire is so strong that most likely it's a quicker death. That's what I'm
Heck
saying.
yeah, especially if
Yeah.
it was coming down where they just going across like that with the
Mm-hmm.
fire. Like how when she first came, remember how she got that field that first time, and she
Who's she?
um um the one that passed away the last
Oh,
episode.
Rainey's.
Yeah, Rhaenys, because she did hit the field the one time and torched a couple of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Torian said I would say it's quicker.
It is quicker.
All right. So Masaria counsels Rhaenyra. How do you feel about this? So she's telling Rhaenyra that the small folk they've been complaining, like you was talking about earlier, that the small folk have been complaining that when Viserys was alive there was peace. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So now there's a lot of issues, and she's like, oh, so what? Rhaenyra's like, oh, so what? Rumors are gonna, what are rumors pretty much gonna do? Are they gonna tear down a building or something like that? She said, and she was like, don't sleep on your subjects, like they can actually do some good. And then eventually she was saying to her like do what you can't do, let others do for you, because there's other ways to win a
Win a
war and
war.
stuff. Did you want to say anything about that scene.
That was the smartest advice she gave her. And I hope she really takes heed to it.
Yeah. I mean, we did see that they sent, and we can talk about this right now. She did send that girl, what was her name? Elinda
Mm-hmm.
Massaria sent to the King's Landing. And then at the end, remember, she knocked on the door, and it was that, I think that same girl that Aemon might have gotten pregnant, and Alicent gave her the moon tea for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering what the heck is going to go on with that. I'm very interested to know.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so we shall see. Um, Now we're gonna go to the conversation between Bela and Rhaenyra. And so Rhaenyra's letting they kind of talk about how Rhaenys did how she claimed Meleys and stuff like that, and how nobody else was able to do it. Daemon was pissed off about it because he wasn't able to do it, but then Rhaenys came along and she did it, and she knew her way around the dragon pit like it was nothing. That's why she was able to go get her baby. Remember when she was in the dragon pit that time?
Mm-hmm.
She knew
Mm-hmm.
what she was like. I know where to go. I'm going to get my baby. She was not letting her. She was not leaving without her. Oh my gosh, the bond was serious. So she was letting Balin know that she's gonna need her to take her grandmother's place and everything, but she also gives her something to give to her grandfather, and we don't find out what that is until later, and we'll talk about that a little later. But yeah, we'll talk about that later because I wanted to ask you about. Did we not finish talking about Daemon? Oh, here, let's finish talking about him. So Daemon, after he Dracarys the folks, I wanted him to say Dracarys. We didn't even see it happen.
We didn't even see it happen.
It was just done. So he was like, I did not think that they would be so eager to die. And then, because he wants to bring the Brackens and the Blackwoods together. Obviously, he wants the Brackens to bend the knee, go to his side, because unyielding men is what he needs. Like, I need men that's going to be like that, ready to die, you know what I'm saying? And not switch sides, which I totally understand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he's telling, as much as Willem is trying to give him all types of excuses, like, listen, now you see what my house has dealt with for years and this and that. It's practically going to be impossible to bring them to our side, this and that. But he tells Willem to show them your worst, right? Like, instead of fighting so much, be more persuasive. And so Willem was kind of getting his drift, catching his drift or whatever. And, their men do have weakness. Even though they're unyielding in battle and stuff, they got their weaknesses as well. We about to find out what they are. So he said, there are certain things that, people shouldn't see the crown do, or, did he say the crown? He was basically saying, like, king and queens, there's certain things that they shouldn't be seen doing, but, you could show them your worst. So get it done. Okay, so at the Vale with Rhaena, Lady Jane is not happy about receiving them dragon eggs. Moochie, what do you got to say about that?
What you expect to get? These people is crazy now. They act like they got a factory where these things could be put out.
Mm-hmm.
She's giving you what you don't have already. So you got to raise them up. So somebody like that doesn't even understand the concept of dragons, so you shouldn't have one in the first place.
That's true. It's like, who's gonna ride it? So I don't know, because they were talking about that whole dragon, and that's another thing. Like, if you don't know how to get on the dragon, command it, and stuff like that, you're gonna die. It's gonna kill you. So it's like you're so eager to have a dragon, like. Who you got? Unless I'm missing something that that Rhaena was probably sent there to ride the dragon or something like that. Like, I'm confused. Like, whatever. So let me see if there's anything else. No, that's that. Now, Daemon was having delusions, girl. Oh my gosh, this was so disgusting. He was having delusions of some Targaryen chick that looked like Dany, but it turned out to be his mother that he was over there cookie munching on. and all kinds of craziness.
He just needs to leave. He just needs to leave that area.
And listen, to be
He needs to
honest,
get out of Dodge, yo.
yeah, to be honest, I had a feeling it was his mother because the words that she was saying were the same words I believe that Varys told him that the mother said about him. Like at one point when he came back, there was a conversation that they had where he was like, the mother said you was this and that, or you were the mother's favorite, or the mother said you was the strongest, or something like that. So I'm like, is this his mother? I know, but then they started getting it in, so I'm like, okay, who is this chick? You know, that was really disgusting. I'm sorry.
True.
That
I
scares
thought at
me.
first it was the one
Danny.
who's
Oh,
not Danny,
sorry. Go ahead.
the one that was just in the she's with the greens because he did take out her baby, so I thought it was her at
Oh, you
first.
thought it was Helena.
Yeah, I thought it was
Mm,
Helena.
wow. That would have been crazy to see Helena in that, like, her hair down and getting freaky. Gosh. So I'm gonna say this, Moochie. Damon, he got on my nerves in this episode because he's making his own plans without communicating with anyone on Dragonstone. But it was made clear later on why, and we'll talk about that later. And now, girl, he wants to be addressed as my king because your grace is not enough. Okay.
Right.
And here they come with the noise. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. So, did you have anything to say about how he wanted to be called my king, and then how Sir Simon was like kind of like giving it to him a little bit?
No, because I want him to leave there. I feel like they putting stuff in his food. I just want him to
No,
get
but
out.
how do you feel about him trying to tell Simon to call him my king?
He's delusional right now. That tea got him. I just like it didn't bother me one way or the other because it's like every time I see this scene, I'm like, they're wasting time with this. With all of these
Yeah.
dreams and stuff like that. Like he really doesn't need to be there. It's making it worse for their whole entire squad.
Mm. Okay, so I didn't look at it that way. That's a cool take. So you think that him being in Harrenhal is making him want to basically take over the throne on his own?
Yeah, it's making him lose his mind too at the same time. He seemed like he trying to wait for her to get weaker and weaker and weaker, where she has no choice but to listen to him when he come back.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he's being hella grimy, honestly, and like all the stuff that
Just
he's
like
been
how he
being,
messed up her virtue.
yeah, all the stuff he's been being accused of, it seemed like that's really what it is.
Yeah, she said it. I can't trust you.
Yeah. So I don't know. I didn't look to think that it was the place because it seems like it's just it his like all the thoughts are basically being manifested. Like everything that he's ever thought is just coming out now, and now he's acting on those thoughts. But you might be right. It could be Harrenhal because maybe at some point he was suppressing those thoughts. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Mm, that's interesting, girl. All right, so let's talk about this because this was very interesting, my dear. Mm-mm-mm. So, Allison lets the small council know that they have to name a regent until the king recovers, or if he doesn't, right? So, when they asked if she had any suggestions, she suggested herself. But of course, since she's a woman, they came up with an excuse telling her that, you know, when she was ruling at one point, it was peace, right? And the obvious choice would be Aemon because, you know, there's plenty of heirs, so we don't have to worry about you, you know. Uh,
Hmm.
and the obvious choice is Aemon. But Allison hits them with the Aemon is young and he lacks restraint. Okay, he's the reason we're in this situation in the first freaking place. Even though she didn't say all that, but you know what it is. Like that's
Even though
basically
she ain't say all that, she said all of that.
right. Exactly. She just that's exactly what it is. This is the reason why we're here. He's the reason we're here. So I'ma just say this, girl. Since Laris ain't getting no cutty from Allison, he went against her when she looked to him for aid. Okay. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Maester Orwell, he had her back though. He was like, yes, she did rule and she was successful, blah, blah, blah. But not even Kristen had her back. He's just like, yeah, it's going to be Aemon. How did you feel about this whole scene? I mean that just this moment right here where they just kind of they just did not have her back. What's up, Michelle?
It was like she wasn't even in the room to make a decision. They
Mm-hmm.
just they just basically ignored everything. But look, this is her and her father's fault. Everything
Yeah.
backfired. They thought they was gonna have such a hold on this,
Mm-hmm.
and it's out of their control.
Absolutely. Totally out of their control because now the youngins can and I'm not gonna lie, girl, because for some crazy reason right now I'm missing Otto. I never thought that I would say this because even though he's been a thorn in my side, he's a jerk and all. Before he got out of there, he was so right. The stuff he was telling his daughter, he was like, right now, I don't remember everything, but he was basically saying like, the youngins are taking over now, and it's gonna be more of a blood sport than anything. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? For them, they playing the Game of Thrones, and of course, sometimes folks are gonna die, but they're out for blood. Like it's just, and we're fine with that. We gonna get it the way we gonna get it, and it's just like wow. I mean, and let me move on. So look, Eamon, he trying to sit there act like he's so humble and everything, just waiting for them to make the choice, and he knew daggone well that they was gonna choose him, and because he's not stupid. Okay, so he gets up and he takes his seat and he's ready for business, and he straight up was like, what's going on with the Riverlands? And he looked at Sir Kristen Cole, and Sir Kristen Cole felt stupid because the I mean, I feel like he felt stupid because only like their plan just didn't work. But if their plan would have worked to take Rook's Rest, and then all would have just, and then we would have went over to the Riverlands and Harrenhal and everything, then it would have been all fine. But he just has nothing to say.
The
You
only reason why it didn't work because that whole thing when he
with
came happened.
with Sunfire, right?
Yup.
Sunfire and Aemon, yeah, it messed it up. But he kind of
Heyman messed
looked
up
at
the
him,
whole plan.
yeah. But Aemon though is looking at him like, what's up with the Riverlands? I'm just like, why you look at him like that though?
Then you carrying on like you know.
So, um, he asked. I think Laris says something to him, trying to give a little bit of advice, and he was like, why the heck should I trust you? You know what I'm saying? I was like, ooh, I was here for that. Why should I trust somebody that inherited a castle and you let it be taken over by our enemies? So he just said, it's almost like he took Loris's mouth and like he was like Stretch Armstrong and he just went like this. Let me put my hand.
Hmm.
Be
You so
quiet.
busy trying to go figure out what's going on here that you abandoned a whole castle and
Mm-hmm.
told people that's it's more crippled than iron.
Right. And
And that's
then,
your own family.
yes, and then he gave the inheritance to King's Landing, all the money and stuff. So they don't got no gold over there, nothing. So so you got Simon Strong over there looking to Damon for money, like for finance, you know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
he looking at him for financial aid, and but see, the thing is, Simon is thinking that Damon could write to the queen and ask for some money, but he don't want to talk to her at all. He don't want to ask her for any help or anything. And I'm just like, this guy, I'm telling you, like, I really liked Damon, but right now he has a lot of like proving to do to me right now, because I'm starting to really get annoyed, and I don't want to hate him. I'm holding on. I'm trying to be patient, but he's really pissing me off. All right. So then Eamon says, do this, do that. He's giving all his orders and stuff like that. And then he gives the command for someone to cut down the rat catches. And I'm like, finally, because that was, to have them hanging like that, it's just, you got the people still seeing the rat catches, body
Hmm.
hanging. And then now you bring this dead dragon's head through the streets, and so they're looking at that like it's a bad omen, and it's just like, what else are they're losing hope. All the stuff like we were talking about before that Otto was trying to do, you done
Yep.
made them, everything is, all hope is lost right now. So, Torian said they were smelling up the town. Yeah, because that's when, like you said, Moochie, how
Yeah, when she was
Allison was just,
walking through there holding her nose.
yeah. Yeah, man. Before we move on, did you realize how, I'm sure you did you see how she was seething? I was waiting for her to erupt. Like, I said abrupt. I was waiting for her to erupt. My bad. Wrong word.
Hmm.
I'm talking too fast. I was waiting for her to erupt. Like, she looked like she was about to spaz out on everybody the way she was breathing like that. She
Yeah.
was so pissed off.
But this is
Whew.
all her fault. She tried to warn her to bring it back. Oh, I can't control it now, even if I wanted to. That was her exact comment.
Yeah, Rhaenyra tried to warn her, right, and say, "Hey, you are the one that can do this, especially since you made the mistake." But man, let's give it up for Cheese's dog. I
Yeah, he was
mean,
not giving up. That's the one, like one person that's like, I'm
yo,
ride or die.
word up. That is crazy. It's so sad though at the same time. Oh my gosh, it's so sad. So we also see that Aemon orders the city gates to be locked and the people to be kept in. So that's bad as well. Like
Hmm.
I get his strategy, but he gonna piss some folks off, girl.
He is. Look, you gotta remember that family that they keep showing in the little
Yes,
cabin, and
yes,
they running out of medicine for their daughter. Did you see
yeah,
how pale she looked?
yeah,
He's gonna be one of those people that will probably be strong enough to start a resistance.
yeah. He might be. I wonder if he'll be a drag. If he be able to ride a dragon too.
I think so too.
But he needs to be paid, and you know that the sad thing about it is that he keeps thinking that the king's word is his bond, and he's gonna pay him for the scorpions and all of this stuff. But no, and now they find out that Aemon is in charge.
Hmm.
Oh gosh, it's not good. All right, so now we have Jace who retreats, and we already talked about this, so we're just not gonna talk about it that much because, like I said, I kind of got there too quick. So he treats with the phrase, and he tells him that he's gonna give them his protection and also the protection of Damon. Okay, because everybody's so scared of Vagar, and he's like, and I was feeling him, even though I don't agree with what he's doing, how he just gonna go on without his mother saying that he could go. Um, I liked how he bossed up and was like, "You over here scared of a freaking dragon that's leagues away when my freaking dragon is right outside your gates. Like, are you stupid?"
Yep.
He said it nice and polite, but it was like, I mean, come on. I mean, let's just be real here, okay? But his dragon is so small compared to Vega. Oh my gosh. So speaking for folks without permission, like I said, but everybody wants Harrenhal, which I don't understand. So that's what the phrase want. In return for all of this, they want Harrenhal, and he's like, "Well, y'all gonna have to bend the knee for that type of stuff, okay? Because what my mother wants is bended knees, okay?" So he did secure it, which was great, but I don't know. How did you feel about that, Moochie?
I'm worried about his safety
Yeah.
because he's going to do what he feels is necessary,
Mm-hmm.
but they're already outnumbered. So I'm hoping that I'm worried about this deal that he made because remember the history of these people, you know,
Yeah.
is not too good. So I'm already worried about that. And he is defying his mom, but I think he's doing the right thing. I just hope it works out in his favor.
Yeah. But my thing with this is Damon finding out that you gave them your word that I would protect them. And we find out that Damon has his own plan to take King's Landing himself and be the king. You know what I'm saying? He's like, hey, because the Brackens then came to his side and everything. So he's like, look, I can do all this, win this myself, and take over King's Landing, take King's Landing, and she could be my queen. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not like he's trying to push her out. But I mean, he is pushing her out. But he's still trying to keep her as his wife. But that was my whole concern, because like, Damon, what are you really doing? But obviously that's the plan. If he has shut them out completely and he's not even communicating with anybody from Dragonstone, no one else, no, his daughters, nothing, then obviously he's got his own plans. And I just feel
Yeah,
like what he's doing is just very grimy. So
I don't trust him.
yeah. So and we're talking about Damon, guys. We don't trust Damon. Obviously, he can't be trusted, especially he's in that haunted, crazy castle. So how did you feel about this scene? I'm about to set it up for you. Bela tells Corlys that Rhaenyra wants him to be hand. So that's what we find out that was in that little silver thing. She wanted Bela to give that to Corlys, my uncle Corlys.
I hope he's
Um,
reliable.
so, okay, that's a good one. Now, Corliss tries to make Bela after, because he was basically like, "What more does she want?" Like he was, he was just doing the most. What more does she want? Did she not get enough and all this? Does she think that making me hand is gonna make things go away and blah blah blah? Of course, he's angry. I understand that, but he's always seemed to have this bitter taste in his mouth about Rhaenyra, and
Yeah.
it's kind of annoying at this point. You know what I mean? Crazy thing is, for him to be the one with the bitter taste, he still didn't even care that the kids are not really his, that they're not his blood, even though Rhaenys was trying to tell him that all the time. But when it came to having an heir, it was okay to accept Rhaenyra. But when it comes to anything else, and maybe that was a part of, I don't know, maybe that was part of the reason why he couldn't really screw with her like that. But
Mm-hmm.
um so after Bela was saying, listen, my she was defending Rhaenyra, and she was also telling him about his grandmother. Telling him about her grandmother, Rhaenys, and saying, look, she went out the way she wanted to go out. That was her choice to go to Rook's Rest. She did what she wanted to do. She went out a dragon rider's death, and that's exactly how my mother went out, and that's how I want to go out. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, girl, tell it. And I'm just like, what is wrong with these crazy women wanting to go out by dragon fire?
Mm. I'm just.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of people that I got my eye on where I'm worried about them.
Yeah, yeah. So after she showed her boldness and this and that, because look, he was never looking at them little girls, okay? But she
Mm-hmm.
showed that she's a fierce chick. He was like, granddaughter, I would make you the heir to Driftmark. She was like, Driftmark must be past the salt and sea, because I am blood and fire. I wish she would have said fire and blood, but she said, I'm blood and fire. That's her choice, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's her choice, because she is her mother's child as well, but she's also her father's child. So I guess that's why she's saying she's blood and fire, because she's her father's a Targaryen, all that, blah blah blah, whatever. But she still got the C in her and stuff. High tide. So anyway, that's that. Don't worry, Moochie. We're almost done. I know you're tired. It's
I'm here.
late.
I'm here.
Yeah, Michelle, she said she really spoke up to him. Yes, I loved it. I was like,
I
go ahead,
like the
Bela.
boldness of her, and she has so much confidence in herself.
Yes, yes.
That's what I love about her the most.
You know what I love about this series, like right about now, is that I don't know if you remembered, but I think last year or two ago, I did like a video of like my top favorite warrior chicks or stuff, or something like that. I
Mm-hmm.
forgot what I called it, but like I feel like I can really do that video over and add some chicks to my list.
I see
Okay,
you. I got a
Rain
couple too.
Rainey's for sure. Like Rainey's is almost like it. I'm sorry, like I love Brienne so much, Brienne of Tarth, but like Rainey's, I don't know. It's just something about her. Like The way she handled her situation and the way she is, oh my gosh. Anyway, I didn't see that much of her though, so I still have to keep my girl Brienne at the number one spot. But anyway, so Rhaenyra, she tells. Oh wait, let's stop for a second. How did you feel about this episode when it came to them honoring Rhaenys? Like, I thought they was gonna do a little more than that.
I thought they was gonna do more too. They didn't do anything.
No,
She should have had. She should be honored.
I'm
Or
disappointed.
maybe we didn't see that yet, because maybe it just happened. Like they just got notice of her passing. So not that much time has passed. You see him going back to the castle. I don't know. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I thought they was gonna have a funeral. They ain't had no funeral. Like everybody that died so far, they gave them a funeral. Like what the heck happened to my girl Rhaenys? Like that's insane. Torian said, "Do we watch the cast interviews?" Sometimes, yes. Sometimes. But I didn't. If you mean after the show, no, I didn't because I tried to get on here right away.
Yeah, we jumped on.
Yeah, so we going back to what you were talking about a little earlier, how Rhaenyra was telling Sir Alfred that he was right. Okay, it would be better if Daemon led us and blah blah blah. So now I want you to go to Harrenhal and see what Daemon is up to. He was like, "Are you trying to get rid of me, my queen, and this and that?" And she was like, "I'm not gonna lie, you have been trying my patience lately, okay? But that's not what I'm doing, okay? I need you to go there, reason with him, see what he's up to, see what his intentions are. Basically, is he raising a host for me or for himself?" And he was like, he wouldn't dare do that. And she said, "Well, I guess you don't know who Daemon is. Like, he's the daring type." Okay?
Exactly.
So when Sir Alfred asked if she had a message for Daemon, she said to tell him, she was like, "Tell Daemon that I would like to finish our last conversation." And for me, Moochie, I'm like, okay, like, what do we need to finish that last conversation for? Because that last conversation had so much to do with what the heck he's doing right now. Like, basically showing that he does not honor you as the queen.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? And he's just not here for it. So it's like, what? Finish that conversation for what? Like, you see what he's doing. I mean, my thing is, why send him to see what he's doing? When, like, why are you saying you want to finish the conversation when you're already sending somebody to see his plans? What's his intentions going to be?
Yeah, because you letting him know you don't trust him right off the bat. And then you send that guy.
Yeah.
And he doesn't care for her being in charge anyway. I won't say he doesn't like her. He just feels like she shouldn't be in charge because she's a woman.
Right. So, do you think that Sir Alfred will switch sides if he finds out that Daemon is trying to be the king?
I don't know.
Because he did tell her, he was like, "Ain't no way that I'm going to be siding with the Greens." But that doesn't mean he won't.
Yeah, he'll side with him quicker than the Greens.
Yeah.
So, and he'll feel like he's not being a traitor.
Right. So.
He'll feel like he's not being a traitor because it's still black.
So, here's something funny. The Riverlands show up during the Hour of the Wolf, okay? And they're requesting to speak with Daemon urgently. Like, we need to speak to you now. This is what Simon comes in to tell Daemon while he's sleeping. And he's like, oh my gosh. So Daemon is coming in talking about something like, y'all really need to be taught a lesson in etiquette, huh? Like, you don't come and wake me up in the middle of the night. Like, what is it? What's the problem? So they tell him that their livestock was stolen, sacred steps were looted, and all this terrible stuff, a whole bunch of terrible stuff. They took the women and the kids and blah, blah, blah. And they tell Daemon that the men who did it were carrying Targaryen banners, right? That were red dragon on black. So we know those are Rhaenyra's people. I'm like, oh, freaking snap. So that means that, what's his name, has already taken action. What's his name again? My boy Jace. Already taken action. I hope I'm understanding that right. Because on the first watch, Tori, and you still in the building. Am I understanding that right? Because that's what I got out of it. I mean, I know those are Rhaenyra's banners.
Yeah.
Um,
So is it him that fast? Because
that's
he
what.
did go and handle his business.
Yeah.
Is she going to be mad about it? That's the question.
Well,
Or is
he.
she?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you were asking. You were
I
saying
was
or
gonna
something.
ask, is Rhaenyra gonna be like you defied me, you went and did
Mm-hmm.
this? Is she gonna be like that, or is she gonna be happy with the outcome?
Well, I mean, toward the end, we did see that Jace told her the news. Like he did that whole like do what you want to do and ask for forgiveness later. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so he was like, "Why do you seem so mad about it then?" And so because she's kind of like, "Yeah, that's cool or whatever." And he's like, "So why you seem so mad?" But for me, him asking why you seem mad about it is like, "Come on, bro. You knew daggone well she didn't give you leave to do that." So of course you're gonna be a little mad. And like she was saying, the crazy thing is that she was basically expressing to him the same thing that he was expressing to Bayla, saying, "I'm supposed to be held up in this castle like some little princeling." And she feels the same way. Like, I'm just here as the queen and I can't really do anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to just be here, held up in the castle, blah, blah. So she kind of feels that she doesn't have any freedom to really, make any real choices or decisions or nothing like that. And then she's seeing her son go out and do, like, everybody else is going out and they're doing this and that. So she really feels out like hopeless and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about that in a minute. But first, I want to talk about Lena. Oh, Lena's ghost shows up at that same scene when the Riverlands was there. And she's asking him, she said, this is like the second time we hear a woman telling him, because Alice told him that, with Alice Rivers, she told him that, a lot of innocent people are going to be deleted in this war. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? And that's lose and so they don't have respect for those type of people. Like, we don't have respect for y'all when y'all can't care about us innocent people. You know what I'm saying? And so she turned her back. I'm talking about Allison now. She turned her back on him, and he was like, "Listen, the realm is not safe as long as Aemon Targaryen is leading anything." You know what I'm saying? Because if he had a chance to meet you, he'll freaking delete you on sight. And she was like, "Well, I heard the same thing about you." So it's like how you basically the same people. So then we have his wife showing up, his dead wife, the ghost Lena, with her beautiful self. She's like, she said something similar about like this war with children. I forgot exactly what she said, but I know she mentioned children, I believe, and stuff. And then she said, "Have you looked after the girls?" And so it's like a reminder to say, you caught up in this whole thing, but you ain't even checking on your kids.
He died. Look, he didn't even talk to his daughter when he left there. He walked right past her and
Right.
didn't acknowledge her. And it seemed
Mm-mm.
like their relationship is strained.
Yeah, just sad. So the Riverlands tell him, "Look, I should have known that we couldn't trust you, a man that freaking had a child deleted." You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
what we're not gonna do is follow a tyrant. We're not gonna raise our banners for a tyrant, and they bounced. So the crazy thing is, not the crazy thing, but I really want to see the aftermath of Damon. Like, what is he gonna do about this whole situation? Because if he's hearing that the Targaryens are ones that did all this, like Rhaenyra's people, then it's almost like he's saying like, "Wow, I underestimated her because she out here doing some stuff." While
Mm-hmm.
I'm over here thinking I'm doing what I'm doing, they out here doing stuff too.
This might make him come back.
Mm,
But he's taking too long. To me, this part is really annoying me.
yeah,
That he's like sitting here. It seemed like he's almost sitting here watching her demise.
yeah. It's becoming a little annoying. It's like I think you said that, like, it just feels like it's being really dragged out. And I'm kind of getting impatient, and I'm not one of those people that needs stuff to be like, okay, like, I don't need that, but it just seems like nothing is happening. And I think behind the scenes, backstage, we were talking about how Rhaenyra is just like a sitting duck practically. She's not doing anything either. And it's like, girl, like, I understand you lost a big dragon, but I don't know. But she is kind of in between a rock and a hard place, because she can take Cyrax and go do some damage in a few villages or a few, houses and stuff. But it's like you don't want to take the chance on, you know what I'm saying, Vagar coming upon you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or even freaking daggone what's his name? Caraxes. What, because we can't trust Damon at this point.
No,
He
you
having visions of
can't.
chopping young Rhaenyra's head off. That's crazy. Cause
Yup.
he loves her. So if he having visions of chopping young Rhaenyra's head off, there's gonna be an issue. He does not have any respect for the older one. That's how I'm looking at it. I don't know. So we also had Helena ask Aemon if what he did was worth the price, and they just kind of left it at that. And he turned around. You know what I'm saying? How did you feel about her asking him that? Aemon, it was Helena asking Aemon, one-eyed Aemon, like, was it worth it? Was it worth the price?
No, I think he couldn't even. He didn't want to answer because he feels guilty because because her child is gone.
Mm-hmm.
So that it's like I don't. He's trying to make it seem like it didn't. Hello. As far as with what happened to his brother, her losing a child, these are all because of his reactions.
Mm-hmm.
She seems like she's gonna be have some sort of animosity towards him.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, I could see that, and she also just seems like the type of person that even if she did holds or hold somebody responsible for something, that she just is incapable of holding a grudge. Like even when she said to her mother, "I forgive you," and she just doesn't seem like she's so pure. Like she just, I don't know. I just don't see it in her to hold a grudge. That's why I feel so bad for her, because it's just like she's just watching this whole crap show, and she's one of the people that's suffering severely behind it.
Yes.
Another person I feel so sorry about as well is Rhaenyra. So we're gonna finish off by continuing talking about her last conversation that she had with Jace before the episode ended. Um, this poor girl has not even been able to properly mourn not just her dad, the daughter that she lost, and also now her baby boy. Well, not baby boy, but her, one of her boys, her second son. It's crazy. It's like at some point, it's like, how much can she take? And I've been waiting for her to lose it. But you don't, sometimes when people lose it, they start doing crazy stuff, and we might be like, oh, hold on, right there. Slow
That's
down.
what
That was
I'm worried
stupid.
about because the Targaryens have that uh you
Yeah, that
know that
temper.
that temper, and a lot of them go mad. We don't want
Yeah,
her to go mad.
right. Because
We already
she's,
see Damon look like he getting ready to go mad. Now
yeah,
we don't need both of them going mad and then them two fighting amongst themselves.
yeah, she got that temperament for real. That's that temperament
Exactly.
that Allison be talking about. Like, just not out here trying to do the fire and blood thing. Like, let's do peace. Rhaenyra got that. And if she didn't have it when she was younger, she definitely grew into it. But it's like that young Rhaenyra is gonna rise
That's the
eventually.
one I want to see. I thought we was
Yeah,
gonna see her much sooner. To me, it's taking too long for that
it
version of her to
really
come.
it really is. But she's trying, like, so in the last conversation that she has with Jace, they're just trying to figure out how they gonna get more dragons. Like, we have dragons, but we don't have dragon riders. Well, actually, um now I can't tell you because I can't talk about it because it's book stuff, but whatever. So, but here's the plan. The plan is that, because Jace is like, how about go to some other houses with some different last names that possibly have, that Targaryen blood and stuff like that, and see if we could, gather up some riders. You know what I mean? And we gonna see how that goes. And she's like, but the history tells us that if you're not a dragon lord, then you can't ride the dragon. So the history tells us.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yeah, that's probably what they probably just telling us that for whatever reason he said, I forgot. Basically just to blow smoke up people's behind, and probably to keep them from having small folk or other people outside of the Targaryen line bloodline, purebred,
Ride the
from trying to
dragons.
ride, yeah, trying to ride the
Look at that.
dragon.
Look at the one that was asking for the egg. That she's upset that she just doesn't have eggs. That
Mm-hmm.
she has the eggs.
Right.
What if look, and it seems like the daughter is kind of giving the secret away. If you raise them, you will be able to ride them.
Mm. Mm-hmm. We shall see, honey. We shall see. So that's what they're gonna do. She's kind of now she's a bit perked up a little bit. Um, because even then she didn't yell at her son for doing something that he, you would think she would yell at him like, how could you do this, blah blah, especially not because she's so mad at him for leaving, but she's mad at him because he put himself in danger possibly, you know what I'm saying? So you would think she would lose it on him for that, but no, she still didn't. She's still just like, oh, you just went out there, you did it without my leave, blah, 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 da, da, da. And now he comes with, this suggestion, and she's a little more perked up about it. So she's like, okay, let's do this. So now I'm pretty excited about that. It looks like they might see that big dragon Vermithor that we saw,
Mm-hmm.
what's his name, Damon singing to in the first season. So that's the second biggest dragon. And so that's gonna he's most likely gonna be on their side, which is great.
I
So
hope
hopefully,
so.
yeah, hopefully he's quicker. You gotta be quicker than that. Anyways, do you have any final thoughts, my dear, before we get out of here?
Mm, not right now, because I only saw it that one time.
Yeah,
I gotta watch it one more time.
yeah. So, um, I'll try my best, but honestly, sometimes like if I see it again and I think of something else, I'll try to see if I could throw in another video or something. But for right now, this is pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that. But thank you so much, Moochie, for being here.
Thank you for
Please make
having
sure you
me.
subscribe to her channel. She when you want, go ahead, do your little commercial, girl.
Oh, look, make sure you guys come through tomorrow. We're gonna be talking about um black divorce. I know
Oh,
I'm with a panel with that.
wow.
So we
You didn't
supposed
even
to be
invite a
doing that.
sister.
I didn't even I'm not even hosting it. So I'm
Okay.
like I was invited to that. Is if we supposed to do it actually Thursday, but we're doing it tomorrow, I believe. I
No
could be
problem.
wrong. But
Yeah.
I know for a fact that I'm doing Mayor Kingstown Wednesday. Y'all need to come through. You know I usually do make it a late night thing because of the subject matter of the show. But get into it. This episode was it's picking up. All right.
Yeah. Yes.
And please be
Awesome.
sure also to check out the theory videos for Ghost Tough Love Plant. I'm gonna continue it even though, that whole news report came out. So I'm still gonna press on with it though. All
Okay.
right.
That's what's up. So, this is for the watch. So, all I'm doing right now on this channel is House of the Dragon. My son told me about Super. Is it called Supercell
Mm-hmm.
on Netflix? He told me about it. He told me that it's so good. I keep passing it by, because it just looks weird to me.
It's
But
good.
yeah, he told me that's really good. So if he told me that's good, my little Joey, if he told me it's good, then I'm gonna probably watch
Yep.
it. So if I do watch it and I like it that much, I will probably review it on here. Because
Okay.
that's where I like, this channel is for like supernatural stuff, fantasy, things like that. The other
Okay.
channel, Rewind That with Miss K, that's the crime drama channel, y'all. Okay. And give me the 4K because it's playing over here. It's playing around over there. Like, I don't understand what's taking me so long to get to 4K. Like, I'm less than 20 people away. Like, that's insane. Whatever.
Look, well, I know I was on Tyrion's panel with Supercell last week, so that was good.
Really?
You're gonna
Okay.
enjoy it, yeah. So,
Yeah. And I love the UK stuff. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
And my son was saying, like, he was talking. He was like, Mom, you gonna, no, I like
You
how
gotta
they
remember
talk.
Lamar from BMF was in it, and if you
I saw.
watched 61st Street with Courtney Vance,
I
the
did.
main character, he was in that.
He's in it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I remember. I don't know if you guys remember when I was covering that Courtney Vance show
I
And
remember
before they
that.
took it, and I didn't know what channel it went to,
Mm,
doing all sorts of crazy nonsense.
yeah.
Like they playing the
So,
shell game with the shows.
right. And also reaction. I have 10 videos recorded. The whole first season of Your Honor is recorded for the reaction. I don't know when it's coming out, but stay tuned for that. My son is really acting crazy when it comes to the edits. I looked at it, it was horrible. So just stay.
You had to go and do it yourself.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna have to do this myself. So stay tuned, y'all. Keep that notification bell turned on. Thank you so much for the people that are new, the people that are here, and the folks like Tori and the Michelle who came over from Rewind That with Miss K. I love you guys. Thank you for following me and all that. And thank you, Muji, for being here with me discussing, something that I love so much. Okay. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Take care, be blessed. Bye. Oh my gosh. How was I not able